Okay, so today we're going to do a deep dive into something that's got everyone talking. I mean, the passing of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy. It's just got this air of mystery to it.
It really does. I mean, this is a Hollywood legend we're talking about, and the circumstances surrounding their deaths, it's definitely piqued everybody's interest.
Hackman. I mean, for people who maybe haven't seen a lot of his films,
Mhm.
he was an icon, right? I mean, he's got an Oscar. I mean, he was in some of the biggest films ever.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you think about his range too. He could play a hero, he could play a villain. The French Connection, Superman. I mean, he was incredible. And to have him pass like this, it really is. It's very sad. And there's just so many questions
Yeah.
about what actually happened.
So let's start with the facts that we do know.
Okay.
So they were found at their home in New Mexico. He was 95. She was 65. They were in separate rooms of the home. And then there was a dog that was found dead near Betsy.
Yeah, it's very strange. They were discovered by some maintenance workers who went to do a welfare check. Apparently, nobody had seen or heard from them in a while, so they went to check up on them, and that's when they found them. Hackman was in a mudroom. Betsy was in a bathroom. They found scattered pills, an open prescription bottle in the bathroom with Betsy.
And so no signs of forced entry.
Right, right. No forced entry. They've ruled out a gas leak. They've ruled out carbon monoxide poisoning. So immediately you start thinking, okay, well, what else could it be?
Right.
And the autopsies have been done, but we're still waiting on the results of the toxicology reports. And those are really going to be key here.
Yeah, and for people who aren't familiar with that process, can you explain kind of what a toxicology report is and why it takes so long and what they're actually testing for?
Sure. So basically, they're looking for any substances in their system, could be drugs, medications, anything like that that might have contributed to their deaths. And it takes a while because they have to analyze the blood, the tissue. It's a very meticulous process, and it can take weeks, sometimes even months to get those results back. But they are crucial, because it can tell us if there was something in their system that could have been fatal on its own or maybe combined with other factors.
Okay, and so while we're waiting for those results, I mean, I think it's also important to talk about Hackman's legacy here. I mean, he had such an incredible career. He kind of stepped away from Hollywood and from public life in general.
Yeah, he really did. He retired officially back in 2004. And then he really did just kind of disappear. He wrote a few novels, took up cycling, really just kind of wanted to enjoy his privacy and live a quiet life. And it seemed like he was doing just that in New Mexico with Betsy.
So what are some of the theories right now that are being looked at to try and figure out what happened?
Well, I mean, naturally, when you see the pills near Betsy's body, you start to think about the possibility of a joint suicide. But the fact that they were found in different rooms kind of muddies the waters a little bit. So it's
Yes.
possible that we could be looking at two separate, unrelated incidents, maybe an accidental overdose on Betsy's side, and then something else entirely for Hackman.
Yeah.
Investigators are also looking into the possibility of an accident involving the space heater that was found near Betsy. Could it have malfunctioned? Caused a fire? Some other kind of hazard.
And what about the dog? The dog that was found?
Yeah, that's another big question, right? What role did the dog play in all of this? Was it somehow involved in an incident that may have harmed both it and Betsy? I mean, these are all questions that investigators are going to have to try to answer.
Yeah. This is a tough one because we've got this Hollywood icon and we don't have a lot of answers. So for listeners out there, what's kind of the main thing you want them to take away while we're waiting to see what comes out of this investigation?
I think the big thing is that, death investigations are complicated,
Yeah.
especially in a case like this where there's limited information available. Determining a cause of death isn't always, a simple cut and dry process. It takes time. It takes piecing together the clues from the scene, the medical histories, witness accounts if there are any, and then, of course, those toxicology reports are going to be critical. So I think biggest thing is patience. It may take some time for the full picture to emerge, but I have no doubt that the investigators are doing everything they can to uncover the truth.
It's a story that's still developing, and we'll continue to follow it and bring you any updates as they come. And I think it's a reminder that sometimes real life is just as strange and mysterious as any Hollywood film. So we'll be back with more on this as the details emerge.